Hey guys, Bullet Shooter here. So I'll make this last video. Anyways, um, it's time for the summary of Andy's Apple Farm. This is gonna be very quick. Um, Basically, Thomas Eastwood. He was a game developer who kept having flopping games. This was during the 8-bit era, I believe, era. And he was making an Apple Farm game. And it was supposed to be on the more family friendly side. He was supposed to be introducing a whole new television and gaming system with it. It was supposed to have new technology for that time. And basically, you play as a beta tester playing this game um, before it's released. And he does say that there will be future versions of this, there will be an update. Right now we're going off of version 5. Okay, so you play as Andy Apple. Basically, you're exiting your home, having a great day. You go run into your friends, Klaus the Clock, Melody the Moon. Um, I think it was like, I can't remember the other two, but there's a fish and there's a beaver. Basically, they're like, oh, we're having a nice picnic. We're having apples. Do you want an apple, buddy? Um, and then you notice that there is glitches. There is cuts in audio. There's some audio that overlaps to the next scene or before the scene. Um, you also get a little creepy visuals here and there. There's errors. Like if you go under a certain, like above a certain tree, there's a error text. Mostly it says "Save us, help us." So spirits are in this game. So it's Five Nights at Freddy's but 8-bit. A lot of people call it. I can't remember, but I guess there's some shorts that go over to this kind of particular topic. But anyways, they're like, all right, well, we're gonna have like a game evening. Like we play games and we have little stickers to give you. Um, and the prize is your keys to your house, so you can't go home and sleep if you don't get these games done. And basically, for the beaver, you're basically putting cherries, apples, and lettuce into baskets. Um, and in the very end, right when you are accepting your sticker, it becomes a hyper realistic eyes, like a red effect with like a melting effect on her face. So melting slash stretched. So it's just to creep you out with realistic eyes. If you guys ever seen the VHS of Five Nights at Freddy's, it's kind of like that style. Um, but it does go over a mini game where the father, Thomas, the creator of the game, is talking about an incident that he blames his daughter for it, and then it just comes out of nowhere. Well, not nowhere, but it's understanding. If you guys played the fish game, basically you collect 3 fish, um, not touching any of the boots or anything. Um, he basically goes over. It starts glitching out, black eyes and all that, and then a body spawns at the very bottom of the thing. I'm trying to remember. I think it's if you bring it straight to the dock, it goes over to the incident report over a police monitor where the daughter of Thomas got to go back home, but the son ended up drowning in a boat accident. And I guess he's blaming her for that. He's blaming his daughter for his death in an accident like that. And you get to see the body that's supposed to be the son. And there's 2 options: either you drag it or you bring it to the dock. And I know for sure it goes over the incident report that it was October 14th. The body has not been recovered yet. So either the body is still alive or it's just an unrested soul because the body was not buried. And then, hold on, I'm trying to record some Walking Dead while I'm here. Um, So basically, it's just Thomas is a game developer. There's all these little chances to go outside of the screen, click on certain things to make it freak out, and basically become a VHS horror style in an 8-bit game. And basically just tells you stories of the family dying. Basically, Thomas ends up summoning a dark entity with a spiritual thing to try to get his game better. He in he's employing a new kind of technology that no one's seen yet, but does not know how it's gonna react. So basically, he's putting his soul to a demon and selling it to make a game good, so he can make a living with it. Well, that ends up putting a curse on him to where he becomes a very angry being after the incident with the boat. But it does show that the dark figure is this entity that he summoned to make his game better. Pushed them off the boat. Stopped the daughter from saving the son and letting the son drown. When the daughter comes back, mentions it, says it, I'm sorry, it's my fault. It's an accident, but still my fault. The dark entity starts pushing Thomas over the edge where he gets angry with his daughter, and he eventually starts drinking, and his wife kicks him out of the house, where he drinks with his friend Arthur, who's still allowed to go over the house, his best friend, and he believes he's hanging out with his wife. So he's like, you're not doing stuff to my wife behind my back, right? And he's like, no, man, no. When he was the father figure slash the shoulder to cry on. So he's in the hearts of them. Basically, so son's dead, father's an alcoholic. He eventually gets completely over the edge with the demon, and the demon tells him to burn down the freaking house with his daughter and wife in it. And then Arthur, his best friend, comes up and is like, what the hell happened here? Why are they dead? And he gets chased down with an axe-wielding Thomas. And killed because being accused as a liar. And he eventually Thomas comes to his senses after this and is like, holy crap. My family's dead because of this. In what I try to do. And when he goes to, I think he summons the demon again at the very end of the game. I think he did a symbol with the bloody knife that's on the ground. And he's like, alright, what the hell happened? I want my family back. But the demon, not being happy, I believe he possessed Thomas's body to release the game still, so his influence goes places. But Thomas is now, his spirit is in the game. So basically, Andy the Apple is Thomas. Klaus the Clock is Arthur. The wife is the beaver. The son is the fish, and the daughter is the moon, Melody. And Peter the Pumpkin, which is released in the second half of the game. So basically, you're doing fishing, you're doing the baskets, you're doing I Spy with him, you're doing a Friday Night Funkin' situation with Melody, and then that's it. And then you get to go into a barn that's dark, and basically you have to do two things. One, there's a way to avoid eyes to get to the fourth floor, and when you get to the fourth floor, the winning prize is you get to see the family members' portraits and their birth to death date. And the only one that is different is the son, who has he has an accused date of when he died. It's not he died this date. This is when he went missing. This is when he was presumed dead. So the son may be very much alive. Or, he's just an unrested being. And then the other thing is you run into Peter the Pumpkin, which is supposed to be the evil entity. And basically, you're like, I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm like still a little sick. Basically, he tells you to go through this maze. You're playing tag. You tag him, and then he says, "I'll tag you now. Run." And once he catches you, it basically shows how Thomas was consumed by the dark being and turned Andy. He finds his key finally, but then you get like a creepy, realistic Andy the Apple, and then it just boots you out of the game. You have your save file, but you can't play anymore until version 5. And then there's an existing thing. So another creepypasta inspired thing is there's an existing account when you first boot it up, and basically it just blue screens. And I forgot what it was, but it was like it blue screens, gives you a little scare about your computer. And I believe it was like a Thomas's message. Um, so, to recap, basically the family died. Father wants to get a good game. Summons a demonic entity because he believes he has nowhere else to go. The dark entity ends up making the daughter leave the son to die. Then it angers Thomas, where he kills the rest of the family and his friend. Thomas tries to undo his deeds, and the demon makes him a part of the game. His soul's thrown into the game. And basically, you're just running around in a little kid's game, getting little mini games done. I'm trying to remember what it is. I know some of the secrets, like I've already mentioned it. There's a lot of like sequence, like you have to do this in a certain order to get this one. Like there's different errors for every time you get whenever you play whichever minigame you play first, you get a different error for that existing minigame. But there are some secrets that you miss out if you don't play it the second time. If you play Melody for the first time, you miss out on the fact that she does like a little glitched quick song, and then shows how the daughter and the wife is on Christmas and how they burn down. And I believe you play as either you play as Melody or you play as Andy Apple. And if you go down and right, you get to see Thomas's car. And if you go back to the windows, you get to see the wife and daughter talking about how they miss the son, they miss the father, and they wish their family was back together again. And the daughter blames herself for the death and the departure of all their family. And after you blank out, it freezes, but then you can eventually go into the house, and it's a burned down house. You can see Thomas's car, and there's a quick flash of burning items, a dead end. Basically, you can also hear the screaming of the daughter and the wife getting burned alive. And that's if you play Melody in any other in any other way else than the first one. You get that the fish. You have to either drag it, and I believe dragging it allows you to get the cutscene of the dark entity pushing them in. If you bring it straight to the dock, you get the police report. That's for the fishing minigame. I believe in the Klaus minigame, there is a glitch where you can go out of the screen. I think it's bottom right. But then there is, after he says something dangerous, you point on the axe, he says, now find something deceased, and it's reversed. Same thing with, in the beginning, there's a reverse text that says, help us. When Thomas is explaining the fact that it's a beta testing game, it says help us in reverse. This is deceased in reverse. You click on Klaus, and he shows what's his name? No, I completely forgot. When Arthur approaches the house, he sees the burned corpses in the burned house. And then he gets chased down. Klaus is chased down by a axe wielding Andy, and this is actually the show of Thomas trying to kill uh, Arthur and then killing him, and then eventually tries to hold off the fact that the father ended up killing his family, and then he's like, "Where are they? I don't know. You killed them." So I'm trying to think. I think it's the incident report slash how things happened. If you played the fish game, Klaus is how Arthur died. Melody is how the daughter blames herself, and the mother is when the mother kicks the husband out. Uh, I can't. I'm like dead brain right now. Kicks him out. And I believe it's if you glitch out of the Klaus mini game, you get a bar scene where Arthur and Thomas are talking over the drink about watching over the family and all that. So, anyways, yeah, it's just a tragedy of someone's game flopping. He decides to go to another place, to another being, and it screws his family up, and it makes him lose everything he cares about. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.